Introduce yourself as well as who you are as a learner.
Don't go to you.
Alright, go ahead, Emma, you're first.
Okay. So I'm Emma Bash, and I'm a kinesthetic learner, which simply put just means that I like doing things hands-on instead of just like watching a lecture on it.
Good. Hey, Ryan.
Hello, my name is Ryan Neal, and I prefer watching people do it first so that I can copy them and do it myself.
Okay.
I'm Andre Pollock, and I like watching people do it and then copying them as well.
I'm Mason Juba, and I'm a direct instructional learner, which also means I like to see my teachers do it, and then I try it for myself.
I also like to watch the teacher. Oh, I'm Lane Tapowski, and I like to watch the teachers do it and then try it on my own.
I'm Eva Kelly. I really like to research and like look through textbooks and stuff to find out answers to questions and stuff like that.
Very good, very good. Alright, so this whole session is about choices for this breakout. So in what ways have your teachers given you choices in your class experience to demonstrate what you learned?
Well, especially with Miss Nicholson, for example, she'll let you choose a topic, then you do whatever you want to show that you've learned it. Like just the other day, I did a poem about a dragon I was learning about.
Okay, and then how are you demonstrating that you learned?
Tons of different ways. She has an entire page of stuff you can choose from different ways to choose.
Okay, and can you give us an example of what you chose?
I chose to do a poem because it had a ton of information about it. It was like 10 lines, I think. So
Okay.
yeah, it still shows I learned it. It's just not traditional.
Good.
I love learning about dinosaurs, and I've learned a lot of ways about it. Like I brought my own encyclopedia to school, and then I did an essay about it because that's what I wanted to do.
Very good, very good. LJ?
I like to learn more math, and I like to do other ways to do certain problems.
Very good, very good. Macy?
Especially with Miss Nicholson, as Emma stated, and some of my regular teachers, they will give you the option, whatever you're learning about, they will give you the option to do projects or reports. So whenever I went down to Miss Nicholson for social studies, I was learning about different cultures and things, and she gave me the option to either report it or present it to the class, so I decided to make a Google slideshow as my form of showing that I knew it and just presenting it. So she gives you like a bunch of different choices that you could show that you've learned from, and also just for you to have choices.
Good. Go ahead, Lane.
I am learning about herpetology, which is the study of reptiles, and Miss Nicholson allowed me to pick 5 reptiles, and she chose 2. She wanted me to compare and contrast them, so I chose to do a Venn diagram, comparing and contrasting.
Especially with Miss Nicholson, like last year, I did a project on Venezuela, and like I got to choose what I wanted the slides to be about, and kind of in that like situation where like
Do you guys have, and I'll open this up to anyone and then I'll switch to another question. Do you have a particular assignment in the past that you've done that you really liked, where you had really a lot of choice on how you could demonstrate your learning? Go ahead, Ryan.
I learned about biology last year, and I picked through every parts of a cell and wrote about them. And then I watched videos. I did a lot of things, and those 3 weeks were like some of the most best school days of learning that I've ever had.
Nice, nice, excellent. There's another one that sticks out. Go ahead, Emma.
Okay, so some of the people that were in Moonshot last year might remember me, Trevor, and Courtney did a scavenger hunt whenever we were learning about Egyptian mythology and just Egyptian culture and stuff. We did a scavenger hunt where we had to find clues all over a wing of the school, like the middle school hallway. And that's just one that really stuck out to me.
Okay, excellent. Any others? Macy? Casey, I'm thinking about your TikTok that you guys created. It wasn't necessarily an assignment, but these girls created a TikTok video where they were learning about different cultures and different foods from different cultures. And they decided to develop a TikTok video that gave their recommendations on whether or not you should try that recipe. And I think I really remember that one very well because you guys did it all on your own and you weren't even asked to do it.
Yeah, my other friend Lila, she's very good at editing, and our teacher Miss Nicholson let us learn about different cultures, and we got spice boxes from the different places, and we cooked with the spices from them, and we cooked meals, and then my friend took all those clips that we recorded and put them all together to show you whether we think you can try the food that we made or not.
So I hope they'll go viral one day. Go ahead, Eva, you're gonna give an example.
Last year in science, we were doing a project on solar ovens, and we got to choose what we could put in it and what would generate more heat.
That's a good example. Yeah, very good. All right, so here's the question, because we get a lot of this. How do you actually know that you've learned something if we don't give you a quiz or a test?
Well,
Go ahead.
So we get a ton of feedback from Miss Nicholson and stuff on how we did or whatever. It's not traditional grading, but if we did an assignment and she said, "Ooh, I like this part," or "Ooh, yeah, I've seen this before, that's true," then we know that we've actually done it right and that's true.
Okay, all right.
me being able to come up with those topics that I learned off the top of my head, like if I get into discussion with somebody about this topic that I've learned, I know I've learned it correctly if I memorized it.
Okay, good. LJ, go ahead.
Without taking like a test or a quiz to know if I learned something, if I can do like assignment on that, like study quick and I don't like struggle on any questions like that I've learned.
Okay.
Without taking tests or quizzes, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to show what you've learned that way. Like whenever me and my friend were studying cultures and foods, we showed that we knew what we had learned by cooking the foods from the cultures and by showing our knowledge in what we had learned about them and how to cook the foods and all the spices. So you could show it through multiple different ways other than tests and quizzes.
Yeah, me and a couple of my friends did a dragon project, and we showed it by writing about maybe a paragraph about dragons, and then we built a dragon puppet, and we showed Miss Nicholson.
Good, very good. Go ahead, Eva.
I think that whenever we have like quizzes and tests, it like stresses me out whenever we get a grade, number, or letter. So whenever we get feedback, it's easier for us to learn more by knowing what we did wrong or right.
Eva, I really appreciate that you brought that up. Can we talk about the stress that comes with, is anybody willing to also talk about the stress that comes with a grade?
I can.
Yeah.
So whenever there's a test or a quiz or with a grade, you constantly feel the stress of, oh no, I did so bad, or oh no, yes, I did so good. I'm a perfectionist. I choose to be, and sometimes whenever I get like a really good grade, like in my mom's eyes, like a 96%, that's still a fail to me. Like I have to get 100. So there's like a bunch of like different stresses that come with taking tests. So I think it's just better to get your feedback, just to know in a different way what you did wrong or right, and not just sticking a number on a paper and telling you that's what you get, that's what you did, and just bringing all that stress on you above a grade.
Speaking of perfectionists, go ahead, Ryan.
It's really stressful. Like if I have some trouble on a lot of questions, and then I can't really focus on anything else other than what if I got this wrong on a math test, or what if I got this wrong in my vocab test. Like that's really hard to focus.
And it kind of messes you up for the rest of the day, huh? Yeah, very good. So just so you know, for context, like they'll still go into a traditional classroom they'll still, the Moonshot kids, I'll let you talk, LJ, in 1 second. They still, take that test or that quiz. It's just, they don't get a grade on it, the teacher only gives them feedback. So the teacher in the classroom may have 10 kids that are Moonshot, and the rest, another 10 or 15 would be traditional. So they're still experiencing, traditional classroom experiences, still taking tests, still taking quizzes, but they do not get a grade at all. All right, go ahead, LJ.
It's not really like the stresses, but it's like kind of easier to like instead of just like -1 on a question that you got wrong, or like minus something, like they'll say like on this like you forgot to do this, and then like you need to do that instead of just like -1, you don't get points.
Yep, so the feedback is better then for you.
And like on a future test, you'll know what to do on like a question similar to it.
Yeah, very good, very good. Lane, do you wanna bring something up?
Yeah, like LJ said.
Yeah.
Like instead of just getting -1, they will explain what you did wrong in the Moonshot program and tell you how to fix it or how to improve on it.
Very good, very good. All right, I still wanna give you guys opportunities to ask questions, so go ahead, let's open it up to their questions. And you guys are experts, you'll be fine. Go ahead.
What does what's normal, I guess, but what does a day schedule look like for you?
I will say with Moonshot, it is a little bit more chaotic than it would be traditionally, but we have a set schedule to do things. So me, LJ, and Ryan, we go up to the high school to take math, and Ryan takes ELA at the high school because of the Moonshot program.
Okay, so you go to your ELA and your math in traditional settings, and then you have Moonshot time, or how does that work when you get your feedback from the teacher that everybody continues to speak of? And I'm thinking that's the instructor for Moonshot.
Mrs. Nicholson,
Okay.
yep.
So that's who
But the feedback comes from the
the
classroom
classroom
teacher.
teacher.
Yep,
Okay.
so if they're in ELA, they're getting feedback from that ELA
Okay.
teacher. Mrs. Nicholson serves as the coach to not only facilitate where they're going, but also to allow them to push a little bit further. She also runs their individualized learning program, so that IEP for all aspects. So she's like the coach and facilitator for the
Okay.
kids, but then they're still they can still be, they're not always, so again, it's not traditional, but they could still be in a traditional classroom as well.
Okay.
But yeah,
Got it.
some of these guys, they go on the hill to advance. So again, we're eliminating the grades, the
Right.
grade levels as well. We had a student that was in the elementary that went up and took a high school science course. He was totally into astronomy, and we said, all right, let's do it. And so he was welcomed, this 6th grader was welcomed into the high school astronomy class and took astronomy. And so, and they're out of the pandemic, they're all at different levels.
Right.
And so I wanna try to like disintegrate that whole stereotype of, you're 13, you should be in this grade. And just meet them where they are and celebrate where they are and allow them to progress. But sorry, this is your show, so go ahead. No questions.
So how much time do you have with your Moonshot coach?
For me, I have like 30 minutes. It's after I come down from high school. I learned about, I learned Spanish. So I know my alphabet, numbers, and I'm working on colors right now. So I go down and in that 20-minute class time, I would learn language with my Moonshot teacher.
Got it.
Okay, can I just ask, I just wanna get clarification, 'cause I'm trying to picture you walking through your day. Do you have a set schedule, like period 1, I go to a specific math class where I learn the content that everyone else is learning, but if you want to show that you have mastered the skill or what your progress is, you do something different than the other kids do? Am I not understanding it correctly? Just help me out.
Okay. So at the beginning of the year, like towards the middle of summer, we came in, we got a schedule for the things, but she's allowed me to do a couple classes that I wanted to switch to Moonshot with, like with social studies. I was with a traditional teacher, but I wanted to join Moonshot for social studies, so I just asked her and she let me.
So at the start, in the summer, they come in and we have a meeting with them as well as their parents and guardians. and say, you know, what does your ideal school look like? And then we create a schedule based upon their feedback. And so where Ryan was talking about languages, one of the things we were surprised with is how many elementary kids wanted to start a language. So we have some doing Greek, some doing Russian, Japanese, you know, Spanish as well. And so they're doing that during their moonshot time. And then what they also do is they talk about, okay, I need to be pushed more in ELA. That might mean they go to a higher grade, or it might mean that they stay with Mrs. Nicholson and do a different focus project. So like where Emma's like, social studies traditionally is not my route, I wanna go this way. So she'll come down, she'll do social studies with Mrs. Nicholson, the Moonshot Learning Coach, and not be in that traditional social studies. So it is very messy, to say the least, but they do all have their own daily schedule that they do. And when it comes to if they're in a traditional classroom, whatever the traditional classroom teacher is giving as far as an assignment, they do it. They just don't get a grade for it. They just get feedback.
Got it.
Yeah.
And with that feedback, can you then relearn and reassess? Or you just get that feedback,
Learn and reassess.
where you can relearn and reassess?
Mhm.
Got it. Do the other
Because
kids
again,
in
the
that
grade
class?
isn't a deadline anymore.
Right.
You know?
Do the rest of the kids get to relearn and reassess, or not necessarily?
I'm not sure.
Okay, because you're not there.
How do you feel about that relearn and reassess piece?
I think it's a lot better than just getting a test and moving on with the next topic, because I get to actually learn what I missed, and that can help me more in the future with higher grade levels, harder problems.
How does that relearn time look for you? Do you do that with your moonshot?
Most of the time, yeah,
Okay.
but also some of the time, at the end of the day for sixth graders, we leave class 20 minutes early, so that if you have topics you need to learn, let's say for math, and you miss topics of math and don't know how to do them, you'd go to the math teacher's room in those 20 minutes of time, and that teacher would tell us again how that would work.
Got it.
And again, I don't have enough staff to pull it off, but we're
Yeah.
just doing the best we can with the funding that we have available, you know?
I get
So
it.
general fund, I only have 2 moonshot coaches, one's up at the high school, one's down here at the elementary. Mrs. Nicholson and you all have these staff members that can like serve as 4 individual staff members, you know? I want to get her more help, but it's just, what can I afford at the pace that I
Mhm.
can, so she makes the magic work.
Have all of you been in this program since last year, or any of you new this year?
So, start off, there were like 27 kids. So some of us, me, LJ, and Eva, were all one of the original 27 from last year.
Okay.
But people joined later on through the year, so all these people joined on later on through the year last year.
Okay. Did you say you were new this year?
Yes.
Tell me why you decided to join the Moonshot group.
I decided to join because it sounded like it was a really fun time, and I really wanted to learn about stuff that I would like to learn about. That is why I joined Moonshot.
And how did that sound at home? Is that you coming home and saying, I want to do this? Or did somebody at home, like your guardian, say, hey, I see that they're doing this at your school, would you be interested in it?
I said that I wanted to do it.
Got it.
And
How about
I did,
you?
at the beginning, I did a Zoom, like an open Zoom session in the summer with parents and guardians and said, you know, any questions that you have about Moonshot, I'll tell you, and, you know, we'll work through it. I do genuinely feel that it's been successful, because again, I'm not pushing it on any particular person or group. If you wanna do it, fine, here's what we have to offer. If you don't, cool, you can go traditional, and I think that that has helped because it's just then built, from there. And I wish I had on the panel, I have 2 students who actually were in PA Cyber, and because of Moonshot, we got them back. She's a little scared to talk, but I'd love to have her speak even just one-on-one, because that speaks volumes.
Right.
Do the moonshot students, do they typically need to be enriched, or do we have students who might be working at a different level?
Yeah, so we have ones that are working at a different level. Many are getting enriched, but what I have noticed is our students with IEPs in the Moonshot program is very, very high proportionally to the district-wide. And so it has allowed us to be much more flexible as far as where they're going, especially the primary grades. That's where I'm noticing it for reading, for math, allowing them to go at different grade levels to get them to build up those skills. So it's really benefited on the IEP process, because it's not necessarily like they all have to be they don't have to be a grade below for everything. It might just be math. It might just be ELA. And so now that we're offering that flexibility, then it's helped with our students, especially with IEP. So we do have some that are going a grade or two below, but it's typically just ELA or math. And then they're just going with the rest of their age level peers in social studies, science, specials, etc.
So for the most part, you see that they kind of stay in the same group as far as their age level peers within the group.
Yeah, if you would look at it proportionally, yeah, it's usually, Emma, you have majority of yours is pretty much is Moonshot, but usually it's 1 or 2 classes that they want push or, get the remediation. And we do ask the kids at the beginning when we develop their schedule, what are your non-negotiables? And some of their non-negotiables are, I want lunch to be with my age level peers. I wanna do gym with my age level peers, So we do ask them, what are those non-negotiables that you have to have, and we make sure that we accommodate that.
How old are all of you?
I'm in 6th grade.
How old are you?
Oh, sorry, I'm 11.
11 as well.
I'm 11. I just turned 12. I'm 11. I'm 10.
So you're all 5th and 6th graders, basically. Do you still associate yourself with a grade level then? Like you said, I'm in 6th grade, and I was wondering the same question, like how old you are, but I know I didn't think I should say what grade are you in? But do you still associate with a grade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we still have like homeroom teachers with 6th
Okay.
grade, 5th grade. I don't know what grade Eva's in.
I'm in 5th. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But yeah.
Got it.
So you attend 5th grade math class or 5th grade science class, but Moonshot you said you were doing for social studies, is that right, Emma?
So I still take normal 6th grade classes, but I go to the high school for 7th grade math.
It's so out of our realm of thinking
Yeah.
that, like, I'm trying to wrap my head around it because I think it's amazing. I think, I'm so proud of you for sitting here and sharing. And the fact that you know what type of learner you are is amazing. There are 6th graders who don't know what type of learner they are. And so hearing you guys talk, I'm just so impressed. This is amazing to me.
They are my rock stars, that's for sure, Alright, we have, let's see, we have 5 more minutes.
Can I ask one more?
Yeah, go for it.
Those of you that have gone up to the high school, do you feel comfortable? Do you like
Yes.
going up to the high school?
Yes.
It is so much
Absolutely
better.
amazing up there.
It is so much better.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
I like it.
Go ahead, you can be honest.
I like going up to the high school because I have some friends up there that are older than me. So they're a grade ahead of me, and I can also kind of like see them and like kind of talk with them. But also I like doing something new, and also my uncle is the principal up there, so I can.
So this building here is what, K to 6? And then this is considered an elementary school?
Yes.
And then is your junior high and high school together?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's 7 years. And you just walk up there on your own?
Us three go together.
Okay. Like you meet in the lobby and walk up?
Yeah.
Got it.
We have scooters that we ordered for them, but they're yet to arrive, but we've got solar powered scooters for them, so they have their own scooters. We're actually gonna have you guys use them today, but
Yeah.
they have not showed up yet. We ordered them in like June. But yeah, these guys are super excited. that
Yeah.
They have their own scooters, yeah. Like a Lime kind of scenario.
The other students, do they ask you questions? Do they,
Yeah,
what is their response to all of this? Like, to see you guys doing something different? I mean, obviously they can do it too. Like, they have that opportunity. But what kind of questions do they ask you?
To be honest, they're just like, why are you going up to the high school? So it's not really anything big. They're just curious, like why we're going up all the time. I don't think they really care, but like they're still down here or whatever. They just are curious why we're going up.
A lot of the 7th graders think it's cool that I can
decided to come back. Can you talk to us about those differences or your why for coming back?
I came back because I thought Moonshot was a great thing to bring to our school. Also over quarantine, working just on a computer, it was really draining to not have a teacher with you to, I guess, kind of walk you through it, in a sense. While I was doing PA Cyber, we didn't really have a teacher on like a Zoom call or anything, so I really didn't have the option of asking a teacher for help. I had to ask like my mom or like my grandma or someone else in the house. So I think a big reason that I came back was because I could really be in person and really get like the full experience of school. It was definitely different from the years that I was homeschooled, but it was definitely, I think, better.
And she's our rock star when it comes to TikTok and social media and making any video adjustments on the fly. I can send her things and within a second she has a video created that looks awesome, so, yeah. All right, any final questions? And I'll give you guys a break a little early.